Welcome from South Shields. So we're going to have a little walk along the beach of South Shields, check out the fair, check out the amusements, and I'm going to show you what South Shields has on offer. It's without a doubt one of the most underrated seaside resorts, I think, in the UK, perhaps, but actually it's usually quite busy here on the weekends, but today the weather's not as good, but we're going to have a look around and see what it's like anyway. So come and join me as we walk around South Shields Beach. So the beach kind of starts from the top of this road, and at the top of the road there is a little harbour. But we're not going to walk all the way down there because it's quite far. So we're going to have a walk along the pier, and along this pier we're going to have a walk along the pier, and along the pier often people go fishing. You know, one of the funny things is when you record in the UK, people often have a good stare at you. What is he doing? Is he recording my arse? Definitely not. Is he recording my family? Definitely not. Anyway, to get you into trouble, eh? But we're gonna have a walk along the pier, and see what it's like. So here is a little holiday camp, or should I say a caravan park, where I think people who work in the fair live there. I might be a bit wrong, but I've been there before. You're not really supposed to walk around it because it's a private area, but people do it anyway. So anyway, I've just realised I've come the long way around trying to cut through the car park, but you can't really get out. And I've got a pushchair because I've got my baby with us. So I'm going to have to walk around, and in this car park there happens to be a lot of families, so I had to stop recording for a second. But yeah, it's quite busy. There's thousands of cars here. The weather might not be as good as yesterday because it was a right scorcher, but the weather is still pleasant. It's humid, it's nice, and you don't need to worry too much about being burned, which is a bonus. Right, let's get down to the beach and walk along this pier. Yeah, so this morning I took my daughter, Lindsay, swimming. And that building in front of you is called Havens Point, and that's where we went swimming. It's like a little very, very small miniature, I guess, can you call it a water park? I guess they call it like a leisure facility. But it's like there's a couple of slides in there for older kids and adults and children, like really young children as well. And they've got like a full-length pool, and they've got like a learner pool, and they've also got like a leisure pool, as they call it. Alright, so here we are. This is kind of the beginning of the beach. This area is not as nice as the one that we'll travel up to shortly. But where that little lighthouse is there, that red thing, I'm not sure if you can see it in the distance, just past this dolphin. I'll zoom in. That's kind of the start of it. And that monstrosity of a building over there is Whitley Bay. That area is Whitley Bay. And Whitley Bay itself is not that bad, but that building is a bit of an eyesore. I've been past it loads of times, but you know, you gotta do what you do to survive. But anyway, South Shields. We're not going to focus on Whitley Bay. Nope, South Shields. And as you can see in the distance, there's people in their little sailing boats. I wouldn't mind doing that. I've been kayaking a lot and I really like it. I'm not sure if I'd be any good in a sailing boat. I went kayaking with a friend in Vietnam. We ended up on the news, and he's from South Africa. I'm from the UK. But in the paper, we were labelled as Australian athletes. But we certainly weren't Australian, and we certainly aren't athletes. But we had fun nevertheless. Oh, it looks busy along here. I don't know how well I'm going to be able to film this. I'm getting a few looks. To be honest, this pier's not that amazing. You get so far and you gotta come back, but let's go anywhere. Oh, I think she's asleep. Oh, she's not. Usually I do like hotel videos, attraction related videos, but I thought to myself, we should really do, or I should really do, a video on South Shields Beach, because it's actually quite nice. It's even nicer when the sun's out, but it's still a nice day. As you can see, past these police guards, or should I say railings, is that holiday camp from before. Well, it's not even a holiday camp. It's what can you call it? Caravan park? Like permanent residence. Yeah. South Shields Voluntary Life Brigade. I guess you can go in there and check it out, but I'm not going to do that. That must be a cool job, saving people who happen to be in all kinds of trouble while out and about. It looks like there's some lifeboats out there now, speedboats. Are they doing some kind of training, or maybe someone from the yacht club has fallen in and is in the process of being eaten by a shark, or stung by a jellyfish, or maybe they just can't swim. Ooh, look at this guy. Oh, off he goes. So if you look here on the ground, these are all tram tracks, I believe. In the past, they did have a tram going up here, taking people along the pier for those who are too lazy to walk, or for those who can't walk, or for those who just want the experience of tramming it up. Yeah, these train tracks, or tram tracks even. It's not really that far, but actually, as you get further up, there's a barrier at the top of here, or fence that you can't go past. I think it's because it's unsafe further up, and that might be the reason why they stopped the tram, or it's probably cost related, just like everything else. It's so cool. So it hasn't taken us all that long to walk up here, about 2.5 minutes. Yeah, and there's a little lighthouse at the top of this pier. pier, but we can't go there. Yeah, so this is South Shields Pier. And if you look over here, you'll see the beach of South Shields. Yes. Of course, it doesn't do it justice being over here. But we'll walk along it and you'll see how nice it is. I came here last weekend after swimming and the sun was out and it just looked absolutely beautiful. So we're gonna have a walk along the beach, check out the fair which is over there, and then we're gonna go into the park, which is quite cool because they have a little train that goes around the park which is aimed at kids. But of course adults can go on it as well, you know, you can go in there with your kid, but it's pretty cool. So we're going to check out that. So let's go along South Shields Beach. I thought I would have a little zoom in on what's going on over here. Are they fishing? Maybe they're doing some kind of exercise. I don't know. I'm no expert. So yeah, here we are. Back walking along the beach of South Shields. And again, this area doesn't really do it justice. This is the park, you know. This is the holiday park, you're not really supposed to walk in there. I don't know why I keep saying holiday park. It's not even a holiday park. It's a trailer park. No, it's not even a trailer park. No, it's a caravan park, I think. But yeah, anyway, this is the beach. Check it out. It's a little bit tricky going there with the baby, but in South Shields they have dunes, and I believe not many beaches in the UK have them. And if you don't know what dunes are, for short, sand dunes, they are mountains of sand. They are indeed. And South Shields Beach is quite big. Or should I say, it's quite long. It's as long as some people's egos. But yeah, it goes all the way from where I showed you before, near that red lighthouse. It goes all the way to along the coast, and then has a little break in between South Shields and Seaham, and then it rejoins at Roker. So yeah, Roker is in Sunderland, and that beach is not bad, but South Shields is way better. So we're gonna have a little wander through the beach, the fair here at South Shields. Lindsay. And if you notice, in every single beach resort or coastal resort, they always have these amusements. And I don't see the point in them because you win tickets and then you can buy things, and those things are worth like 50 pence perhaps, and yet you spend £10 on getting them tickets. Maybe you can top up only a small amount. I don't even know how much the rides even are. My bet, they're probably about £3. When I went to the Hoppings Fair, the rides there were about £5, £5 each. Oh, stuck. But I was given some vouchers. So I got 50 pence off a ride, which was alright, but still £4.50 for a ride. I'm guessing here there must be about £3, £3.50. But this place is quite cool. Dinos, golfers only. So dinosaur mini golf. Lindsay, what's that? What's that? Just tired from swimming. Yeah, so you've got like a dinosaur one where you've got to try and avoid being eaten by a T-Rex. And you also have a pirate one further up. It's quite a nice waterfall. Dinosaur Cove it's called. I'm tempted to try a smash burger like. So we've got Dinosaur Cove and we have Smuggler's Cove, a pirate themed mini golf. But as you can see, the dinosaur one seems to be the most popular. Look at that creep up there, eyeing up all the women. Oh, is that Johnny Depp? And there's also a little festival over there, so I might pop in there on the way back. Oh, there's the wall. On the way back on the beach. Doesn't look that busy, to be fair. Yeah, that's called, I don't know if you can see it so well on the camera, let's go a bit closer. It's called the Great North Feast in the park. Where they have that every year in the summertime, and sometimes the music can be good and sometimes it can be a heap of poop. It really can. I just walked past a sign. This is called the New Sundial. At Christmas time they have a great decoration at the front, but the burgers look good. So yeah, this is the beach front of South Shields, and it's always busy, even during the week. Obviously in the winter, not so much, but in the summer, it's just busy constantly. We came here last week, or the week before, in the evening, and it was really busy. And the weather was really good during the day, so people were on the beach having barbecues and that, and they just stayed there until like sunset, which is like getting on for 10 o'clock now. Dipping donuts. I don't really see the point in dipping donuts, considering that donuts are a heart attack waiting to happen anyway. So yeah, a lot of people walk that way to the beach, well, to the sea, but it's a bit tricky with me having the baby. But it's not that far. You walk over the sand there, by the sand dunes. They try to disencourage you from walking over the sand dunes, so they made a pathway to the beach, to the sea. And over here we have some chalets. Is that how you pronounce it? Chalet or chalet? Chalet. And they obviously get rented out. She is asleep. But here there's a pub called the Rattler. Geordie Rattler. Or I guess if you're proper British, Rattler. But yeah, it's actually shaped like a train on the other side. And here we have some more chalets. And if you look closely, you might be able to spot someone's tidy whities, someone's thong, perhaps. That's out there being dried. They've been there for ages, these chalets or chalets, and I mean, I guess they're quite cool if you want to come up for a holiday here. But I don't even know if they rent them out. They're a bit run down. Maybe someone lives there permanently. I don't know. But once we got past the sand dunes, you can see the beach a bit clearer. It's quite decent, huh? Ooh, the sun's getting out now. So yeah, I bet a lot of people think England, they don't have nice beaches. They have coasts. They have pebbles beaches. They have beaches that don't exist. But yeah, I mean, if you ever woke up lost and confused, not knowing where you are, and you came to the beach here at South Shields in the summer, you'd be like, am I in Spain? Am I in Turkey? Am I in Greece? And then suddenly you ask somebody and they say, nope, you're in England, you're in South Shields, you're at South Shields. And then you'd be completely blown away. And all the way down here, along the beach, they have quite a lot of parking. I think it's like £1.50 an hour or something like that. I have a parking permit because I'm a member of South Tyneside. I'm a member of South Tyneside gym. If I want to come to South Shields to swim and go to the gym, I get free parking. So I just left my car over there. Save money on parking. and then do this little video, which is cool. Save money. It's some that expensive. And here is another pub. So we have like one, two, three pubs along here. And this one is called the Sand Dancer, which for some reason people from South Shields are known as sand dancers. So if you come to South Shields and you meet someone who lives here, you can ask them, are you a sand dancer? Then some people might go, oh yeah, I am. And other people might be like, what are you talking about? Because it's not that common, I don't think. Maybe it is. I thought you was asking me if I've got ketchup. I don't have ketchup, but I have something else. And that would be baby milk. Lindsay. Oh, and there's a recycled, what's it called? Lindsay. So yeah, it was a bottle recycling fish. So yeah, this is kind of like the end of this little beach section, and then you have the coast, which you see in the distance, which is kind of like a level higher than where we are now. And then you drive along the coast, and eventually you get to Roga, which is Sunderland, and that also has a beach. And the tide is out at the minute, so people can go quite far out before they get stuck, because the tide comes in quite quickly. And on the top of that hill, which again I can't really go because I have the baby, but you can climb up there. By climb, I mean walk and hike a little bit up a bit of a hill. But you can get up there, and there's a cannon on the top. And below the cannon is a little bunker, which in the past you could sneak in there, but actually now I think they've closed it off. Perhaps because it's a bit of a hazard. But yeah. And in the distance you also see another building. That is also a pub, another pub. But that pub, I think, is closed down. It's quite funny because in the past, a lot of people who came to the beach would park up behind that pub because there's no parking meters up there. However, if you see them cars there, that is a car park, which you have to pay for. And I was actually here again, I was here 2 weeks ago, more or less, and people were having a barbecue on the beach. And I didn't think you were allowed to do that. But they were doing it, and it was quite late on. And here's a small sand dune. There's a couple of people on bikes out there as well. Oh, that must be a killer for your legs. Yeah, there's the other car park. I'm not sure what these are. Is that Starbucks? No. Looks like some kind of coffee. Looks quite inviting, I must say, but I'm not sure what it is. Ice cream van beyond that though. But there's a great ice cream shop by the fair area. It's called Scoop and Bean, and they do fantastic ice cream. I might get an ice cream before I leave. Ah, it's bubble tea. Yeah, I've had plenty of that in Vietnam. So yeah, this is pretty much the end of this section of the beach. You can keep walking and then you get to the coast. And it's quite nice. I said I wasn't going to show you everything, and I'll live up to that. But if you look over here, there's also sand dunes, and we're kind of like walking in the middle of sand and the beach, which is quite unique. I'm guessing someone has to come through here every so often and clean up this little area so people can walk on through. And if you walked on the sand dunes in your bare feet, it's not very pleasant because the grass there, it's like walking on glass. Well, you wouldn't get cut, but it's pretty pickly. Pickly, yes. I mean, how pleasant is this beach, huh? I think it's probably one of the most underrated beaches in the UK. I mean, how many people say, oh, I'm going to go to South Shields Beach for the weekend? Not many. But some people might say, oh, let's go to Skegness for the weekend, even though that does not have a very good reputation. Let's go to Blackpool for the weekend. That also doesn't have a very good reputation. Although I am going to Blackpool next week to stay at one of the holiday camps there. I'm going to make a little video of that too. And the reason I'm going there is because my wife has never been to Blackpool, so that's that. But yeah, not many people say I'm going to South Shields for the week or the weekend. I don't think, at least. So that's that restaurant I was talking about, the fish restaurant. Yep, they sell fish and chips. And I think it's called Coleman's, I think it's called. Look at that downstairs, the tacos, huh? That must be new. Yeah, Coleman's Seafood Temple it is there. Yeah, see, it's not a bad little building, huh? But it's quite busy as well. I went in there one time. Fish and chips are about 25, 26, 27 pound, more or less. I don't actually remember. So it wasn't cheap. But yeah, there's the Sand Dancer pub. And this is also a nice place to come out on a sunny day and have a few drinks. You sit outside and it's really chill. I like it. I like to stay there. But I'm going to show you more of the beach as well. I'm trying to get across this road without dying. But yeah, there's another car park as well. Overspill car park, I believe that's called. If the car park over there is full, jump in there. And they usually have that in operation when there's a festival. Yeah, it's a little bit tricky to film when it's busy, especially when there's families and kids knocking about. But, you know, you can't tell people to bugger off when you're trying to film. Hey you, can't you see I'm trying to film? Take your kid elsewhere. But yeah, South Shields Beach. At night, obviously these lights light up as you would expect. And here is a nice little area. You can walk along here and observe the beach. I guess we can do that. And down here is like a little amphitheater place, and they have music sometimes down there, and people sit and watch the music and eat ice cream, which is over there at Mincella's. Yeah, Mincella's is also a very popular ice cream place in South Shields, but unfortunately, I must say it's not as good as Bean and Scoop. Definitely not. Or is it Scoop and Bean? I don't actually remember, but Mincella's is not the best. I don't think so. Maybe I'm missing something. Nope, she's still asleep. Baby loves to go out. She does, and she stays awake for a bit, but then she drifts off, which is so quiet. This is a nice little view of the beach. So, would you come to South Shields Beach? Would you travel halfway across the country to come here? There's a lot of nice attractions in the north as well, and the beach is just one of them. Even though I've just been swimming this morning, I want to jump in that. But yeah, you wouldn't really think even in the UK at this beach, which without a doubt, one of the best beaches I think in the northeast. I might be wrong, but you should come here and check it out for yourself. Yeah, let's have a little walk down there, check out Mincella's, and then we'll walk along the road side of the beach and check out the festival. It says they get into volleyball. You can't say it so well, but there's a little sign there encouraging people to play volleyball. But yeah, the Rattler pub just over there. They have a little clock on the top, and I think it's that pub. But there's like a little area on the outside which has been left to kind of decay, I suppose, or become overgrown with vegetation because, well, I don't know the reason why, but in the past people used to sit out there and have drinks, and it was so cool. That I think what was last year, the year before, they had that. These bins are a good idea, but they're not very attractive when you're trying to film something. But yeah, here's a typical parking meter that you'll have. Well, 120 an hour it is there, 8 to 8. So after 8 p.m, you can come here and park up for free. But of course, there's not much to do. In the summer, you can still walk along the beach at that time, but in the winter, it's just a waste of time because it's pitch black, it's freezing. But yeah, they have the ice cream, Minchella. Yeah, I'm not going to stop at Minchella's, although it does look quite nice. I think I might have an ice cream. A scoop of bean, I'll see. Yeah, how nice is this little water feature? Apart from some of the shit that's in there, but it's quite nice. Oops, sorry about my language. Yeah. It's quite powerful as well. You can feel the spray coming from it. To be honest, I did say I wouldn't mind jumping in there, but looking into the water, I think I'd prefer not. And you can walk that way to the beach as well. Right. So right, we're back along the main road of the seafront. It's not that far from the beach. Look at that, you just park up here and walk over there. But yeah, the Rattler car park. I wonder if you have to pay. Oh yeah, pay on arrival. That's one of the bad things about parking, you know, especially if it's owned by a pub. You want to come here for a drink, and you don't want to have to pay parking before you can have a drink. It's the same at the Sundial. Look, they also have a car park which you have to pay for. I don't think it's theirs, but it's there nevertheless. So yeah, the Rattler is kind of shaped like a train. Look, there it is. Every Sunday carvery. But yeah, it's shaped like a train. But it does look a bit run down, I think, on the outside, but it's been there for quite some time. Here's the other section of it. And this is the area I was talking about before. This used to be an area where you can sit and have drinks. There are tables out here and everything, but now it's just a waste of land. And over there is an actual holiday park. It's called Sand Haven Holiday Park. Yep. Thing is, these holiday parks are quite nice. You know, you have the beach nearby, but I prefer holiday parks with entertainment. I mean, they might have, but I couldn't imagine they do. Right, let's just have a little dip into this festival just quickly. So, actually, I'm not going to go into the festival. I'm not going to bother going into the festival, but that's the festival there. Because I'm we need to feed poor Lindsay. She's getting hungry, even though she's asleep now. So yeah, this is South Marina Park, and there's also another Mincellas over there. Literally, Mincellas are everywhere. Mincellas ice cream, and here they have a little train that goes around, and a little lake. It's quite nice. It's quite clean as well. They have like pedal boats. And there's a troublemaker. That's not going very fast, that's is it? I should jump in and push it along. £2 for that. So yeah, £2 for the train. Is it worth it? I don't know how long it takes. Probably about 5 minutes. So yeah, it's quite a big park, and if you're a keen walker, it'd be quite cool to have a little walk around it. And as we leave the park, there's the Westovian Theatre, which do amateur productions, theatre shows, which is quite cool. So I hope you have enjoyed the little tour of South Shields Beach. It's quite long, there's a lot of things to do here. You've got the funfair, the amusements. A lot of choices of ice cream, and that one in front of you there with the white with their own white roof. It's called Scoop and Bean. They do the best ice cream without a doubt. So, get yourself to South Shields Beach for a weekend. It's not bad at all.